but has the trip become sour already? Well, the president is pushing for EU Chief Ursula von der Leyen to be installed as the next NATO Secretary-General after blocking the UK candidate, Ben Wallace. Well, is this a harmless push for stronger Europe in defiance of Russia, or another shameless snub by Sleepy Joe? Well, joining me now to discuss this is the chair of the Republican Overseas, Greg Swenson. Greg, it's always a pleasure to see you. So, Sunak is going to be taking Biden on board. It's nice of Biden to come over to visit Charles. He actually snubbed the coronation. Can we expect anything of substance out of this, or is it just another fleeting photo call?
I think it's more of a photo op. I wouldn't expect much of it. I'd definitely manage expectations on this thing. And as we have discussed before, President Biden is no friend of the UK. That's for sure. So maybe he's doing this to kiss and make up, and maybe, you know, to catch up on or overcome some of the mistakes he's made, you know, like the coronation, like getting involved in Liz Truss's mini budget and criticizing it, like supporting Ireland at all costs over any interests of the UK. So this, you know, there's some history here, and it goes way back.
Yeah, and the particular issue of Ursula von der Leyen, the European Commission Commissioner President, she's been very outspoken about her desire for a European army in the chair. I was there, I heard her maiden speech. She made a direct pledge for this. An EU army is a kind of cut-price NATO. Is this a worrying thing for Britain to see NATO? UK, after all, is the second biggest financial contributor to NATO. But this feels like Sleepy Joe is going for more of a globalist EU power base for NATO.
Without a doubt. And it goes back to the Obama administration with the criticism of Brexit and the UK will be in the back of the queue. Well, now we really are in the back of the queue here in the UK. And it's not good for the UK, obviously, having a globalist, having someone who's failed her way up the ladder, you know, a complete failure as defense minister. Why would you want someone who's not served in the military but also failed as the defense minister as the head of NATO? It's because Biden is so convinced that the EU and multilateral organizations are good. He's clearly a globalist. He has very little regard for the UK, and it's also bad for America.
Nigel Farage has been saying that he's always felt that Biden has never liked the UK.
He's right.
He's always been biased against us. It was disrespectful to miss the coronation. Will this repair those kind of damages, or is it a fleeting photo call on his way to a UN convention?
Look, if he tries, then good for him. I don't think it will repair it. I think he's been, you know, somewhat flippant about Prime Minister Sunak. He didn't get his name right at one of their meetings. He has very little regard for the UK, and he's obsessed and loves globalists and loves the EU. So this is bad for the UK, and it's, as I said, bad for America in the long run.
And he called him Rashid Sunak, I believe. It's a Chinook helicopter. And he called him Mr. President. So I guess he gave him a bit of a promotion.
He's not, doesn't really know his history. You'd think someone that's obsessed with identity politics would get a name correct if it's an ethnic minority. You know, because that's all he really cares about is identity politics. And that's why, another reason he's endorsing Ursula, because she's a woman. And Dr. Jill is supposedly friends with Ursula. You know, this is just another moment where he's choosing someone based on their race or their gender.
Greg, I'm afraid we have